Hi all, and welcome to the Where Haunted Channel. My name is Tim, and today is Ghostly Tales Day. So, for this episode, we are going to push it out another couple of minutes, because 3 minutes isn't enough to talk about what had happened in this very place. This is Maitland Gaol. We've been there on a number of occasions now. Ever since I was a little boy, I've been wanting to go to this place, and I always came past with my parents. My parents would say this place is haunted. I'd always look at it and go, yeah, I want to go there. At the time, you know, as I always say, I was a young fella, I was kind of scared, but very interested at the same time. Nowadays, top of my interest. So, about 2 years ago, we had gone on a self-guided audio tour. Myself and Mitchell had walked in. We had taken a few snaps of the jail. Anyway, in one of the photos we could see in our profile was one of our most viewed videos on TikTok, and it is of the guard tower. I had taken a photo, and seconds later Mitchell had snapped the photo straight after me, and you can see the difference between my photo and his photo. You could see what looked to be a face in his photo, but not in mine. Very interesting nonetheless. We moved on to C Wing and the maximum security wing. Now, we know that in the maximum security wing, one of Australia's most notable serial killers, Ivan Milat, the backpacker killer, he was spending some time inside this maximum security wing in the late 90s until he was eventually moved on after guards had found a escape attempt between him and a fellow prisoner named George Savas. Now, while we were in this cell block, we had a door opening and closing on its own. So what could we do to fix that, to try and debunk that situation? Well, I went through that cell door, closed the door on the other side, to try and stop the draft, if there was any. And there wasn't a lot of wind going on that day, especially not at the jail, so it was very interesting to see if it would still do it. And this door, might I add, it still did it. And there has been stories that these doors can open and close during ghost tours there with Newcastle Ghost Tours, so very interesting nonetheless. Anyways, we had just continued our little trip through this place. We got to B Wing, and as we were leaving B Wing, we could hear one of the big metal cell doors upstairs slam shut. Now, this door upstairs you couldn't get to. The stairs were padlocked shut with chain link. You couldn't get through any way to get up there to close that door. So who was up there? Who was slamming this door? Fast forward a couple of nights, myself and Jason from the Where Haunted Paranormal team, we went with Newcastle Ghost Tours on a couple of hour ghost tour there. We had some capital action in the maximum security wing out the front of George Savas's cell. We had some capital action inside of C Wing. We had a very interesting spirit box session in, well, Estes method inside A Wing, to the point where I was joking around, asking questions, being silly, and a few people and Jason on the headsets had said, no, you didn't. Like, the joke was, oh yeah, I can see you up there. Nah, not really. And then a few people on the headsets turn and go, no, you didn't. And I'm like, whoa, okay. That was very interesting, and it was very, very fun at the same time. We had then moved on to the shower block. This is where the most interesting thing had ever happened to me when it comes to physical. We had, our experiment was to stand in a cell block with our arms up. And I had what felt like pressure on my shoulders during this experiment, and pressure on my wrists as if someone was holding tightly across my wrist, or if I had handcuffs on my wrist that were really tight to the point where I couldn't clench a fist. My hands got as far as this, I couldn't go any further. But that was very interesting. But yeah, this place has its fair share of hauntings, and we cannot wait to go back. So thank you for listening to Ghostly Tales this week, and we'll catch you on the next one. Laters.